Webinar has started.
All right. I know this is a hot topic, man. People are, I mean, everywhere I go, people are asking me about. I was actually just talking to a college professor that is in child education. And the real problem right now is ChatGPT is writing, like they went like students that have, that are like a DC writing, their papers aren't great. And now they've got robots writing, and it passes through the plagiarize, because they have plagiarizing software in the college to check to see if it's been plagiarized. And right now the AI isn't being flagged as plagiarization in this tool. And so it definitely is putting formal education on notice that they better level up. It's gotten that good.
That is correct, Barry.
Oh, you're trying to act like a clown, or what is it, a dinosaur maybe? No.
I could be AI, right? There's these new bots that
well, and then there's deep fakes. I mean, that's just
deep fakes. There's so much cool stuff coming. I mean,
yeah.
I liked the conversations around where search is going, because search is delivering all these websites, and then you've got to go in and try and find out the answers.
Right.
But ChatGPT is searching through all the websites, finding the answers and giving it to you. So it's search on steroids to an extent, right? So this is why Google or mainly Google have just been freaking out. And there's a lot of talk about this is going to completely change the way search is done. So Google is investing billions of dollars to catch up really quickly. And Microsoft and all these companies it's a massive arms race right now. So it's incredible times, but it's also, we're looking at it very carefully, like how we can help you guys get in front of all of this. If the search results do change, like how can we get more visibility for you? And it's still very much up in the air how that's going to work. But yeah.
Well, and I get asked all the time because as good as it is, I don't think people read a lot. And I think just generally they don't. And so although we're talking about the community pages, and we should have a lot of text because it's something that people would read about if they're reading in a community, but when you're doing like drip campaigns and marketing campaigns and stuff, I think I have not seen AI be as punchy and insightful as a well-trained copywriter. Now that obviously can change because things are moving really fast, but yeah, no,
I agree. I think there's just so many use cases, and there's been a lot of webinars around the different use cases. But today, what I wanted to specifically focus on is just do one use case and make it real simple for everyone involved.
Yeah, that's what I love about this, is basically we're taking this like, wow, it's amazing, and saying, okay, here's something everybody that's watching this can do in the next probably 24 to 48 hours. You could do it today if you had time.
Yeah. The whole idea is to do it today, or hand this off to someone on your team, or to hire a virtual assistant and have them do it all for you, and to just reap the rewards sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So it's really about the community pages. Whenever I look at our client sites, I would say 98% of them still have the same text we put on their community pages, which is just a simple block. And so there's really no SEO benefit in that. So you really want deep, well thought out, well-written pages with a lot of different content. And what we've done, or I will say Jojo, who's also on this call in the background, he's very shy, but he's a brilliant copywriter and also engineer. He has dove deep into ChatGPT for a couple of months now and figured out a way to templatize all of this, and all the programming, all the hardcore stuff behind the scenes, you don't have to worry about. You're simply using a very basic plugin and following a couple of steps, and boom, each one's going to be done for you. So today is all about showing you how to do that, as well as at the end of this, you're going to be able to get a PDF download that you can share with anyone on your team or your VA, so they can do it for you. So
let's dig in, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, we got 171, so we're going to get started. I'm going to go straight to screen share and just show you guys the document. And just a heads up on this document, at the end of this session, I'm going to save this recording, post it to YouTube, and put a link for it in this document as well. And then I'll just need each of you just to email me, and then I'll reply and send you the actual PDF document at the end of this. But this is basically your ChatGPT guide for better community pages on your branded website. But look, a lot of this can apply to other things as well, which you'll quickly see. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of ideas as we go through this. But let me, just preface this by saying it's not going to be perfect every time out of the gate, right out of ChatGPT's mouth. We still recommend you spend time to review and go over what's being written or what's being pushed out, and make any edits, make any changes based on you being the market area expert and putting your own twist on certain things, as well as adding in any links and adding in any photos or videos to these pages will really put your own spin on it and make it unique and that much more powerful. But this is going to give you, this is going to take 80 to 90% of the hard work out of it. And then you just have to do the little touch-ups at the end. So the number one step we want you to take for this, which is going to help you use the templates that Ylopo's created for you, is install, if you use a Chrome browser, we recommend you use Chrome, and use this plugin, this extension. It's called AIPRM for ChatGPT, and install that into Chrome. Okay, just do an install of that. It's free, because inside this is not only Ylopo's templates for these community pages, there's a lot of other templates, which I'm going to show you what it looks like once you. So I'm going to go to a new chat.
Wait, hold on, because I'm trying to do this as well. So the first step is you go to your Google Chrome store and you add the, what's the name of it again?
AIPRM for ChatGPT. So if you just go to, if you're using Chrome, you can just go to Google and type in AIPRM extension or this whole word, any of these.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That is going to now allow you to, once you open up your ChatGPT and you go to new chat, it's going to look something like this on the page. So actually, I'm going to take away the Ylopo prompt. And what it has is all of these, you've probably heard, if anyone's been using ChatGPT, playing with it, you've got to tell it what you want accomplished, give me, write me an article of 700 words for this community. And there's a lot of different nuances you can go into to make these super cool and also super SEO friendly and not AI detectable. So we've done a lot of that for you in the background by creating one of these templates. So once you have your ChatGPT open, okay, well, this extension will show up as when you do a new chat. You're simply going to come down here into the search bar and type in Ylopo. And we've created these two templates for you to use, okay? And one is for intro and outros for your community pages. So it'll give you a basic introduction, it'll give you a basic conclusion, okay? And the other one is for the real meat and potatoes on the page. So I will give you an example of a completed page that we did for a client here in Las Vegas. Actually, let me show you first.
So you have to have you have to have a ChatGPT account, which is free.
Yeah,
right?
you need ChatGPT for this to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I did is I added that extension, and then when I added that extension, it asked me to log into ChatGPT. I logged in, and then all these templates that he's showing you guys, they popped up immediately.
Yeah. So this is now going to be your default on the page. So you can pick from any of these these templates that have been pre-made. And there's a lot of different ones in there that I suggest you play around with that are really damn cool. I was playing with them this weekend. But these are the ones here we specifically programmed and created for Ylopo. So you just search for that by using the keyword Ylopo. So to give you an example, you know, I'm going to go to Kirby's site here. He's got his communities. And if I go to his Summerlin page,
That's a really pretty picture.
he's got, this is just basic, right? He's got that, and he's got this picture of this pretty average house. So we can do a lot better with this page. So I'm going to give you an example of what we did. I did this in about 5 minutes using this prompt or this tool. And look at all the code, look at all the, so this is a nice introduction, all about the schools, all about the different things. You can also add in all your contact information in here. So we suggest, you know, contact us at blah, blah, blah. You can add that sort of stuff in here. It's still going to spit out all of your communities, but then after that as well, you're going to have all these different pieces, you know, which talk about introduction to Summerlin, market, real estate trends for Summerlin, popular homes in Summerlin, community amenities in Summerlin, nearby schools in Summerlin, best neighborhoods in Summerlin. So there are 6 different subjects for each community that this template is automatically going to create for you once you give it the right, tell it what to do, basically. So I'm going to right now jump in and go into the tool. Okay, let me move some tabs around here. And what you want to do, we're going to go straight into the meat and potatoes here, which is the big piece of text that we're going to throw at the bottom of your page, right? And if you guys have some questions, you can throw them in the chat. But remember, this is also going to be recorded, so you can rewatch it afterwards and go step by step, and you'll have this guide which walks you through it. So, you know, don't feel like it's too much too quickly, because we do only have an hour to get through this. But I think once you've done it and once you've played with it or you've watched the replay, it should become pretty familiar. But Barry, you can keep an eye on some of those messages if something really stands out.
Wait, do you need me to pay attention? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. I'm
yes,
just kidding.
Barry, you're always messing with me. Okay, so when you select this template here, the landing page one, it actually now is going to tell you what to do down here. So it says, look up your keyword, copy and paste, copy the people also ask questions, paste here. Okay, so basically what that is you're going to go to Google, and my keyword for this specific example is going to be homes for sale in Summerlin, Las Vegas. Okay, yours might be homes for sale in Virginia Beach, Virginia, right? Or homes for sale in whatever, right? You get the idea. So you're going to run that search into Google, and then they've also got, so I'm going to copy that, and in my document, I'm just going to create a new document here. I'm just going to put at the top, homes for sale, Summerlin, Las Vegas. Okay. Comma. Okay. And then, so that's my keyword, homes for sale, Summerlin, Las Vegas, comma. And now what I want to add in is what's called people also ask. These are all the top questions that people also ask about that keyword. Okay. About homes for sale in Summerlin, Las Vegas. And what you can do, it always comes up with only about 4. with not a lot, right? But what you can do is select one and then unselect it. And now you'll see it's added a couple more. Then do that again and do it a couple more times. And all of a sudden, there's a whole bunch more questions coming up. So do that 3 or 4 times, and you're going to get, and I would say grab 10 to 15 of these. These are all the top questions. And we want to give this to ChatGPT because we want them answering all of these questions for you in the content that it's producing. So copy that, come back to your document and paste it in there. Okay, so now you've got your original keyword, plus you've got all the questions asked around that. So you're going to copy that whole piece all as one. Now you're going to go back into ChatGPT, and you've already selected that, and this is where you're going to paste that in at the bottom. So I'm just going to paste that there and hit return.
Look at that go.
Yep, it is going to town on all of this. Okay. So it has given, basically what it's done here is it's given you an overview. And it's given you, these are the 6 different subsections, okay? It's got the overview, it's got the trends, the home types, the amenities, the schools, all that. But what we want now is to go deeper on each one of these. And what you want to do, I'm going to go, I've given you all the steps in this document, okay? And now what we want to do is do this. It's called write the paragraphs for part 1. So I'm going to go back down into ChatGPT. Now, I want it to really flush out each one of those sections. So I'm going to type in at the bottom, write the paragraphs for number 1. And now look what it's doing.
Oh, wow. So it's like it kind of drills down on it a little bit.
It drills down on it, right? So it drills down on the introduction. So now you've got this nice big piece for the introduction, right? So I would copy that. Actually, what I would do is I would come back in here and copy your all 6 of these sections, okay, into your document. But now section 1, the overview, I'm just going to delete all of that, and I'm going to come back into ChatGPT here, and I'm taking what it just did here for section 1, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to replace in my document with that. That's my intro. This is my introduction. Whoops. Boom. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go back and do this for section 2. Tell it section 2. It's now going to drill in to this to answer the question around Summerlin real estate market. What's the actual market like in Summerlin, right? Boom. There's a nice big description for that. Copy that. Boom. And now go to my section 2, delete all that stuff we had in there, and just give it this. So essentially what you're going to do now is you're going to go, you've got your introduction, you've got part 2, and you're going to go through for part and just do these prompts for each part. So you're really gonna like flush out each part here, and it's gonna give you the full pieces of it, the introduction, the real estate market for that community, the popular homes that are for sale in that community, all the amenities, okay, the nearby schools. And I also highly recommend you take the time reading through this. And if you're seeing anything where it could make sense to add some links, for example, these schools, this school, I'm sure, has a website. Add a link to that school's website. What it's doing is showing Google that you're not just talking about yourself, you're also talking about other people, and you're sharing their information. So Google loves links, especially links out to sites of high profile, of great trust. So any government sites, any educational sites, like EDUs, which a lot of the schools are, that sort of stuff really helps with your SEO. So definitely on the schools, and just fact check a lot of this stuff too. Make sure it is, it does make sense. A lot of times it's actually very, very good. You'll be super surprised, but you'd want to fact check. Again, all of these, the neighborhoods, most of these all have websites and places you can link out to. And then the final piece you can do with all of this is simply go back to new chat and landing page intro and conclusion, and you can just put in the very initial, homes for sale in Summerlin, Las Vegas. And it's going to write an introduction for you. It's going to basically give you two pieces. This, and the second part of it is here. This is repeated for some reason. But yeah, I would say use this as your introduction. Use this as your description, or pick and choose what you like best, right? Essentially, and then it does have room here. Make sure you notice some of these in quotes here and in capitals. This is, you make sure you put in your company information, your business name in there. And again, there, again, there. So that is for your intro. And then we also went over how to do the big meat and potatoes of everything. And so put all that together, put it into one document. And then what you can do is go into your back end of your website. So I'm on Kirby's website here, and you want to look for your communities tab. And under all communities, you're going to find this little, I don't know, some people call it a hamburger bun, some people call it a little equals sign. I'm sure Barry's got a little cute name for it, but
hamburger menu is what I call it.
Hamburger menu, there you go. And you'll also notice the one you want has a little arrow to the right of it, because this is what's called a collection. So once you click into it, now it opens up the collection of all of the communities that you've got on your branded site. And you want to come in and then find the one you want to make edits to. So in this case, it's Summerlin. And you're going to click on the little gear icon. And the intro for it is going to go in here. This is the intro piece, right? I also recommend under options, the second tab, you change the URL here to use your keyword, Summerlin-homes for sale, Nevada, Las Vegas, something along those lines, right? Make it a little bit more along the lines of what people are searching for. So that goes into your URL at the top. And then the other thing you want to do here is, change out the image. If you want to have a nicer image, simply hit the trash can, add a nicer image that truly reflects that neighborhood. And then This is where the community tab at the end is where, it pulls in the market trends data. So you want to make sure you don't mess with that. That can mess with the properties that show up in the market trends data on that page. On the SEO tab, give it that nice title, homes for sale in Summerlin, Las Vegas. And then a description doesn't help with SEO, but it does help when people read the results, and they sort of see which one they want to click on. A lot of times they will read in Google what it says in the description. So they're not just looking at the link, they're looking at the description, and that may sway them more towards clicking on yours. So those we recommend making changes to. This is where the content is. And then the other piece is you want to come down to the actual community from here, click on the Summerlin one. And this is where you've already changed the description, which is that piece in there. But the majority of the text you want to put under the properties, because you don't want people to come to the page and have to scroll all, all the way down, like through a whole bunch of text to find the homes. You still want the homes to be pretty much towards the top of the page, but with a nice chunk of text. Then all the homes, which are already going to be there for you. And then you're going to want to add in the actual text block down the bottom. So you're just going to click edit. And then you're going to click where the little plus sign is, plus, and add in text. Now you've got a text block. And this is where you're going to plug in your text that you've copied onto your main document over here. Okay, you're going to copy that, paste it into there. I'm sorry, let me go back. Where am I? Too many tabs. There, paste it into there, scroll up on the page until you can see, or once it's in there, and then make sure you save that once you've pasted it into there. And then what you're going to have is you will have the page like this, right? So I did exactly that in here just before we started to speed things up. Change the image, put in that nice intro text in here, kept all the properties the same because these are all Summerlin properties, then added in the big chunk of text below that. I haven't added in any links, haven't added any photos. That's obviously stuff, you guys can all do. Squarespace also has a really good help center. So if you just type in Squarespace help in the help center, how to add photos, how to add videos, how to do anything inside Squarespace, they've got really good pages which teach you how to do pretty much everything that you're trying to do.
So there's a couple of questions. Will there be additional templates being added later?
Yeah, really good question. Yeah, we foresee being able to do this. There are a lot of different use cases for this. It's still early days, but 100%. We just haven't. We just wanted to do this one thing first, but there's a lot of other things we can do in there that we will figure out and we'll create templates for. And then we're going to do videos around that and share with you guys so you can access that and do it yourselves.
And a lot of questions about Jasper, its relevance. Is it something that you think people should still be using? Are there any benefits to it that you think?
Yeah, really good question. So Jasper is another tool. Jasper, we have also spent a lot of time using. It's very good for rephrasing and taking what ChatGPT creates for you, putting it in there, and then asking for it to come up with a different version, maybe in a different language, less formal, more, more, or maybe more real estate, as a real estate professional, or
Okay.
as, you can play around with it, but Jasper allows you to really give it another voice. And so that you can come up with a different version of this. But the reason you want to do that is so that Google doesn't think that this is all AI generated content, and you get penalized for that potentially down the road. We're not seeing them do that right now, but I've been penalized by Google before when I owned an SEO agency. Google is very, very smart. They catch up to stuff and they will get you eventually if you're taking shortcuts, if you're not doing anything to make this better or your own, or putting your own twist on it. And that's why I sort of started off by saying, make sure you look at this stuff yourself. Make sure you make any changes, remove anything that doesn't quite make sense, add in what does make sense, put in your own photos, your own video, your own links. All of that stuff is going to really change the layout of this and make it more authentic and genuine, which is going to pass the AI sniff test. And that's basically what Google's looking for. They just don't want you guys taking super shortcuts and just copying what ChatGPT gives. So making some adjustments. GPT-0 is another tool you can use for testing and checking your content. And it'll actually highlight where it's sort of come up as 100% AI generated. And you can use Jasper. And then there's a few other tools. We've found Jasper to be the best one. There's so many of these tools coming out that allow you to rephrase and make changes. But I feel like it's doing all the heavy lifting for you already. Just do your own editing, your own adjustments, and that should be good enough 99% of the time.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is, use this to save yourself some time, but not to relinquish all responsibility for how good the content is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very clear to you as you read it. Some of this stuff is like, oh, no, that doesn't really make sense. So just delete it or make an edit to it. But you don't have to think up everything from scratch. The six subsections that we've created or programmed this for are based on a lot of research and what the best performing websites are using from very, very high-end SEO people that they've paid a lot of money to create. We've basically replicated that formatting and that style for you guys. And so all we ask for is just give it your own spin, your own touch on top of what it spits out.
We did a question. Is it better to use the old community page and edit that, or should they create a new one?
Yeah, really good question. I would do it all in a document, kind of what I did, and then make all the edits to it, make it exactly the way you want it, and then just go in and replace the one that you've got on your site without having to go. The other way you can do it is, let me just go back. Discard. Let me just go back to the pages. Because the other way you can do it is take a community page. Let me go back into pages, go back into communities. Oh, sorry, all communities. And you can simply select one. So let me roll over Henderson with the little gear icon, and down the bottom, go duplicate, and it'll just take a copy of that and then make all your changes in that. But what it also does, though, is it creates a separate URL, or, URL, sort of website address for it, which can mess up with the way your navigation is linked. Because right now your navigation is all linked directly to these community pages. So if you go in to your navigation here, you'll notice all of these are your community pages, but all these are, that's why they've got the little links beside them. These are simply just links that point to the actual pages that are within here. okay, within these all communities, this collection. So if you're creating a new one in here for Henderson and you've completely pimped it out and you absolutely love it, then you've also got to remember to come back into your navigation and change the link for it here so that it points to the new one that you've created and not the old one. So a couple of different ways of doing it. It's 601.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it takes the pressure off to do it on a Google Doc first.
I think so, yeah. And then do it on the Google Doc, get it to where you like it, and then add it in, and then add in the links and add in the photos once it's in your community in here, rather than in a Google Doc. Google Doc just for the text, but then once it's in there, add the images, add the links once it's actually inside Squarespace for you. What other questions do we have here? What is the difference between just importing keywords and clicking on Ylopo block and putting keywords? Because the Ylopo block has a ton of coding and programming and prompts behind the scenes that's creating all of the outputs for you. So, you know, those 6 different outputs are all built into our blocks without you having, you can do just keywords, but it's not going to really lay it out there and give you the formatting and the layout of the content the way that we feel is going to bring you the best results. You're going to have to do a lot more, tell it to do a lot more things to get to where that template is. So that template takes all the heavy lifting out of it. You just have to just say, hey, give me, you know, this piece, give me this piece, write paragraph 1, write paragraph 2, etc. And that's all you got to do. Yep, we are creating more blocks, Dexter. That will be coming. How long do you advise our content to be on the community pages? Well, your community pages should all, you know, you should always have a community page. And honestly, you should always be adding to it if you can. So if you're doing blog posts around a certain community, so let's say, you know, that community page was Summerlin that we just did. If Kirby went out and did a blog post on the top things to do in Summerlin on a rainy day, or, you know, top things to do during a heat wave in Summerlin, to his top 5 things, and he wrote a really good blog post, that blog post now should link back to this community page. And in this community page, he should go in and add in his top 5 things to do during a heat wave in Summerlin. And that should now link back to the blog post. So you've got some interlinking going on. So these community pages, I would think of them as parents, okay? And then the blog posts, and then all the other pages that live underneath them, such as, you know, things to do, best restaurants, all the different types of services or stuff going on in the cities. If you're talking to principals of schools, all of that sort of stuff should be linked. Those are the children pages. So now you've got a parent page, which is your Summerlin homes for sale, but you should have 10 to 15 children for that page that link back. And then on that parent page, all the children, you're linking out to them. So now all of a sudden, Google's got all this content around Summerlin, but there's a lot of linking them going back and forth. And all those children are building up the trust, building up the authority of your main page. So now you're going to rank much better for homes for sale inside Summerlin. So rather than just have a parent for each one, you want the parent and children, parent and children. So you're going deep on each community that you service, but you don't put all the content on the page. You spread the content out, but you add the links so that they are intertwined. Hope that makes sense.
What I like about this is you know, you've always been a big proponent with your SEO agency that you used to have of creating quality content, not trying to take shortcuts. And what's cool about this is you've stayed true to that. Like, you're still saying the same thing, but you're just saying that, you know, you can lay a foundation using these tools if you use them right. And that's really neat to watch, kind of the progression of the SEO industry overall adapt to how, you know, AI. So, and this is all free, right? I mean, right now there's no money being spent outside of just being a Ylopo customer.
Yeah. You've always been able to do this stuff, but you just haven't had a tool like ChatGPT. So you've had to hire someone who actually does all the research, actually finds all that information, puts it all together. So, and we've done that. Like Jojo, who's on our team, he's answering a lot of these questions in the background right now. He's written, you know, several hundred pages for, you know, that we have been beta testing for SEO purposes over the last 2 to 3 years. And he's done it all manually. So now he can do it, you know, he can do one really nice page with a whole bunch of links and stuff, like under an hour, whereas before it might take 4 to 5 to 6 hours. So you're just able to do a lot more, you know, with at scale. So you've just got massive leverage now, but just, you know, don't get lazy with it and just let it do all the work for you. Have that final piece in place for review, for tweaking, for making, you know, a sort of nip and tuck as you go, and you can have incredible results with this. So it's just saving you time and money by having that tool there and having all of this sort of programming done for you on the back end. So how do you add in the links? You know, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go over creating a link. I think you can do that. And if you just want to go to the Squarespace Help Center, how to add links into a document, basically the same as in Google, like a Google document. You can just highlight the text, use the link icon, and then paste the link into it. But yeah, link, you know, as far as getting hold of me, as getting hold of that document, you guys can email me directly, kiwi@ylopo.com. Once this recording is edited up, I'm going to add the link into that as well. Save it all as a PDF and then send this out to everyone who emails me. How do we find our backend on Squarespace? So you're just going to go to your website address. So Kirby's, for example, his tools page is schofieldrealty.com/tools. I just want to make sure everyone knows that you've got that. That lets you find all the really cool tools that Ylopo has for you, the open house, the heat map, etc. But to log into your website on the back end, you're going to replace that word tools and just put config, CONFIG. Hit return, and everyone who's an admin on our site, everyone who's gone live with a Ylopo branded site, you've been sent login access to your branded site. And all the admins, you can also go in, if you want to add someone else to do this work for you on your team, go under settings when you log in, okay? And you're going to go into permissions and then invite contributor. Click on that, add the person's name and email, and you can make them a website editor. Or if they're going to do a whole bunch of stuff and basically manage your site, you can just make them an administrator, okay? That'll send them a username and password so that they can log in and make those changes. Let me see what other questions. Yep, how do you get hold of me? I covered that. I'm trying to write content for keywords like realtor for sellers. Do you have any templates for something like that? Look, where it says your keyword. So we did homes for sale and then a city. So you can change the keyword to whatever you feel like a seller would be most likely be looking for. You know, you know what? it is a good question. I know everyone wants sellers. Let me work with the team and with Barry and everyone to come up with another template that is specifically to try and attract sellers and get you listings within these communities. But you know,
I think it'd be fun to do something around the heat map, because you know the concept of being able to scan your database and share with your community that you can show them how many buyers you have. That'll surface people that want to at least talk about the buyer activity. And so that to me would be that's a better seller lead to me than someone that just is checking their home value, because everybody cares what their home is worth.
Yeah. Let's do a separate meeting on this, Barry. We'll come up with something specifically for sellers using ChatGPT that everyone can sort of add in potentially, but we didn't want to go too far off topic today. I want to keep it on track. So Eric asked a good question. How long before you can start to see results on site Google? You'll be surprised. It's actually can be pretty quick, but a lot of it depends on several factors. What are you doing to make the content unique and special rather than just copying it, right? So you need to make those changes. The more personalized and customized you're tweaking it, the better it's going to perform. And also the more interlinking, the more links you've got, the more sort of photos and different things you're adding in, and also the more pages that you're creating. So basically what you're trying to do here is just add a lot more content, a lot more meat and potatoes to each one of your community pages. Because right now, most of you have just got the bare bones, right? So really go deep on each page, go think quantity over quality over quantity, and just chip away at them one by one, boom, 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 and start knocking those off. But we've seen, a pickup pretty quickly. But I would also say, don't have someone do everything in Word doc for all of your communities, then go in and update them all at one time. Do them one by one, because it's more natural, it's more organic that you're slowly adding to your site over time than trying to do everything all at once. So even if you make a pact to, I'm just going to do, a couple of these a week, and then every week you're adding in a couple, boom, 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 boom. But then over, 3 months, 90 days, you should be in a really, really good place. So it is pretty fast. You can start seeing results on these. But again, it comes back to just making it as unique as possible.
Yeah, and I did a 12-month calendar year search for my database and actually got 365 leads in a 12-month, in the full year. And so that's one a day off of that had the Ylopo organic tag on it. And so that's a tag Ylopo adds when your website generated a lead, but Ylopo wasn't responsible for the advertising. And so I had 365 leads with that tag on them from last year.
Yep. So there's a good question about, some people have been using Quillbot. Quillbot is another tool. It's just an alternative to Jasper. We've found that it's not as good. But make your own, you guys decide, right? Play around, use whatever you feel is best for you, and produce the best results. Do we have Squarespace? Yes, you have Squarespace if you have Ylopo. Your Ylopo branded site is part of the Ylopo package. So when you go live with us, we create a branded site. A lot of people spend a lot of time really customizing and building out beautiful branded websites. And it also has all of those tools that I showed you guys, which is, there's hundreds and hundreds of dollars in value with those tools alone. But now with all these community pages, you can really build them out and start getting organic traffic.
And also, when you're doing this, don't steal people's photos from other websites.
Ah, good call. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. What you do is you just I forgot. You probably know the phrase, but there's a bunch of websites where you can pay like a credit or like $5 or $10 to get the rights to the being able to use the photo legally. So
Yeah.
make sure you do that.
Yeah, Shutterstock is a big one. We have a corporate account for Shutterstock. So if you want to email your branded websites team or just support@Ylopo and say, I would like, can you please help me download these 10 images, and just give the Shutterstock numbers, reference numbers. They should be able to get those to you. As long as we're not, not asking for hundreds of them, they're going to give you a handful of them without charging. So definitely dig those up, or just go ahead and create an account if you need a ton of them. That way you've got,
Yeah,
instant access.
Shutterstock is what I use.
Yeah, no, it's very good. They've got a lot.
I even got to like, they do, and like I was able to, in Virginia Beach, we have this like King Neptune statue at the ocean front, and I was like, man, that would be cool if I could find one. And so I went to Shutterstock and typed Virginia Beach, statue, and just typed in whatever the King Neptune, and yeah, they had a whole bunch of beautiful ones that a local artist had uploaded.
Yeah, the Why List With Us page, Caesar, yeah, good point. That is a seller specific page. So we'll come up with a template to really help you, just like we are the community pages, really just plug and play so you can update that Why List With Us page. Cool. So we've got about 8 minutes left. How about blogs on your website? Look, yeah, Sue, great question. Today was specifically about community pages, but you can use ChatGPT to write blogs all day long. One of the things I do really like about it is if you go to this new plugin, the plugin we told you guys to set up in the very beginning, if you take out the word Ylopo, now it's got templates from all these different providers that are specifically designed to do really cool stuff. There's a lot of different topics, and but yeah, you can find blogs and different things, but you can play around with some of these. Oh, sorry, this is own prompts. So you want public prompts. So fully optimized SEO optimized articles, including FAQs, handwritten, 100% unique SEO optimized article, mid-journey prompt generator, outrank article, outrank the competitor with an in-depth SEO optimized article with your competitor's URL. So if you've got a competitor who's written really cool blog content, you can literally use this template, take your competitor's page, plug it in here, and it's going to spit out a better page than what your competitor probably spent a ton of money and time creating, right? Just using this template. There's a lot of really cool templates in here, but play around with them. We'll try and do at least one around sellers in the next couple of weeks, but also make sure, you guys come to our regional events. If there's enough demand, we can do, and you can meet myself. We can go deeper on this stuff at those regional events. But those events are purely designed to teach you guys how to get more out of what you've already got with Ylopo, because most guys are just scraping the bottom of the barrel. They're only using 10, 20, 30% of our Ylopo tech stack. There's so many things you can do, not just on the branded sites, but with all the different tools. So everything is trained towards doing. There's no fluff. There's no motivational type stuff. There's no selling. There's no vendors. It's all on teaching you the tools and taking them to the next level. And it's Barry, it's Gabe, it's our CS team. Dale Archdeacon is going to be teaching lead conversion stuff. Lee Atkins is going to be helping with some system stuff and automation and leverage. So really, really powerful training where we're going to hold your hand and walk you through it in person. It's only 250 people at each event. So definitely recommend signing up for those. Yeah.
And yeah, I was just going to say, Kiwi, that the other thing you know, if somebody's listening and they own their business, but they have somebody that does all the ops stuff for them, and you only want to send one person, send the ops person. This isn't like, sometimes these conferences, you know, with different companies and stuff like that, if there's like mindset training and like high level motivational speakers and a keynote speaker, that's not what this is. This is like a workshop where Gabe and I are going to be training whoever does ops for your business. Gabe and I are training you. Like that's for a day and a half, alongside of some titans, you know, Lee Adkins, Dale Archdeacon, to where we make sure that you guys get the most value out of your time. But this is a workshop style. It just felt appropriate. A lot of people are just, you know, wanting to make more with what they have, and they want to go deep on the tools that they've already purchased. And so given just the attitude of a lot of people in the real estate industry, we felt like this was like a right now type of thing. And was over the next, 45 days in 3 different cities, Kiwi?
Yeah, exactly. So I just put into the chat, my email is kiwi@ylopo. Email me. I will send you the PDF that has the recording linked in it, the step-by-step guide. And yeah, I mean, you know, start using it and share with me some of your pages as you get these done. I'm very, you know, I want to help. I don't know how I can help everyone, the one-on-one, but hopefully I've given you enough where you can do a lot of this yourself. If you do get stuck, feel free to ping me, but please take the time to dig in first, try and learn it, try and do as much of it you can. Then if you're really stuck, let me know. But this guide is very thorough, and the tool's pretty simple to use. So go to town. I really wanted you guys to reap the rewards with this, because this is a game changer. But no other company is really, I think, doing this. You know, there's SEO and stuff, but we're just making it as easy as possible for you guys. So you've just got to do the last piece right now on the execution part on your end.
Well, and you know, a lot of people might not know this, but Kiwi, so I started in 2016 with Ylopo, but you were like day one, right? Like what year was that? 2015 maybe or something?
Yeah, it's been a while. It was 2015.
All right. So and Kiwi, I won't say is the reason, but he is like a main reason that Ylopo spent the extra money to go with Squarespace, so that our users could enjoy this type of flexibility to where they can, you know, is it easy to log into your Squarespace site and edit it if you don't know what you're doing? No, it's not, but it's possible. And there's not a lot of website designer companies, platforms that you can say that. And so this is like, since day one, Kiwi really wanted to give our users the ability to customize their own stuff and leverage SEO. And so this is just another logical progression of, you know, kind of the impact you've had on the community, man. So I know I pick on you a lot, but I appreciate you.
No, all good. Yeah, I mean, we picked Squarespace because it's easy use. It is actually easier to use than WordPress. You don't have to go out and find a hosting solution. You don't have to deal with when plugins break. You don't have to deal with any of that stuff because it's all in one package. You just have to add your own content. You know, we do content for you, but it's duplicate content. It's not custom and unique and special because we can't go deep into everyone's communities. But you guys can hire people. You can use this tool. You can do that yourself. So there's massive opportunities. We've proven over and over and over, SEO can be done on these Squarespace sites. It's an absolute myth that it's better on WordPress. But you just have to put in the work, just like you do in WordPress as well. You've got to put in the work to create the pages, but this tool gives you a big, big sort of advantage when it comes to putting in the work. So hopefully this is helpful. Again, just email me, kiwi@ylopo.com. I will reply to you by the end of the day because I've just got to edit this up now, add the link, and then Yeah, go to town. Please do it. Do the work. And I hope to see you guys at one of the regional events coming up shortly.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.